Ubisoft has made a new original game. Yeah, that sounds horrible. And it's Avatar, but thankfully not the one with the bending magics. The one with the blue dudes. Yeah, at least I don't care if that gets destroyed.
So Ubisoft recently invited me to a preview event to play 2 hours of Avatar Frontiers of Pandora. Now this was a remote event, so I was here at home playing remotely through Parsec via the cloud. And so the visuals when I was playing live were, a little artifacty, but then I looked at the footage that they sent me and it looked a lot crisper. And then beyond that, as a disclosure, I'm not allowed to show footage of in-game menus, crafting stations, and the world map for some.
But of course, well, let's face it, it's probably a reskin of anything that Assassin's Creed already has. And Assassin's Creed is not really a good game.
Reason, so I may talk about those things, but not show the appropriate footage. With that out of the way, though, what do I think of what I played from the 2 hours preview event or the hands-on experience?
So, he can't show the footage, which means this is pre-rendered, okay? Obviously, you're not gonna have... Obviously, no one's gonna see anything even remotely close to when they're in-game. Oh, boy. So, this video is mainly the Yong-Yeah Ultimate Litmus Test. Will he say even anything remotely bad about Ubisoft, considering they lathered him up like a greasy little piglet for the slaughter, and then made him feel special? Let's see how it goes.
And honestly, I came away with more positive impressions than I expected out of this. When I saw the trailers and all these things, I wasn't all that compelled. But after having played 2 hours, I think there's a great foundation here. There's a lot of potential. But
okay, that already doesn't sound good. The trailers look bad, but then they lubed me up, and suddenly the game looks a lot better, boys. And yeah, this does not look good.
It's one thing to play 2 hours, and it's another to play 40 or however long this game will end up being. I've had plenty of experiences.
Are you kidding me? This is gonna be the game. Harvest, awkward animation, get down, and then you fiddle the fruit around? Not even like this? Oh no.
This is why I've played 2 hours of a game, and I really enjoy those 2 hours, but then I realized that the game doesn't have long legs.
Oh,
so
actually,
that's an aspect that I'll find out in the final release. But so far, I'm intrigued by this game, and I actually want to see more of it. And the thing that really impressed me the most about this game is how really pretty and gorgeous the open world is. Pandora, they really brought to life in a major way. It was genuinely a pleasure to traverse the world on foot, whether
this doesn't look honestly too great.
Whether it's by day or by night, either or, the world just looks so pretty. The flora, the fauna, the wildlife, all of it not only looks
flora and fauna includes wildlife.
Great, but also it's all kind of interesting because
not that that's actually a diss or anything. I have forgot what's the difference between flora and fauna a long time ago and just recently remembered myself.
It all looks so alien and unique. It's all so well realized. It's like walking through Morrowind for the first time. You know that experience of walking in this place that looks so alien? That was the sense I got as I explored through Pandora. So for the first time...
Really? Really? It currently just looks like a bunch of brushes at nothing.
10 or 15 minutes, I was just kind of walking around, taking in the world around me, seeing what's around, and the world really does feel alive with just how much wildlife there is and all of the plants and all of the alien-looking elements that surround you, and all of it just looks so, mystifying because of how pretty Pandora is as a world. And then there's the atmosphere established by the music, and on top of that, there's an impressive amount of verticality in this game. You got essentially islands floating in the sky.
Okay, impressive amount of verticality does seem actually quite cool, not gonna lie. But everything else he said is you can I think I can almost hear it in his voice. He's trying to be nice about this. Because again, I don't think Ubisoft is gonna make anything good. Look at their original titles. The Watch Dogs, that's right. It's a disaster. Everyone hates it. It's a complete mess, okay? There's almost no such thing as an Ubisoft fan at this point. Watch Dogs sucks. Assassin's Creed is just the same reskins. I would not be surprised if this game didn't have a single original thing that was not copy-pasted from the other Ubisoft games.
And there was this one mission involving me running up and climbing this mountain to tame an Ikran, which is the flying mount, and that with the music kicking in and...
What's the... Wait. Yeah, I kind of expected this because, you know, we have all watched the first movie at the bare minimum, right? We know that the flying things are like a big deal. So, what's the point of verticality if flying mounts exist, though? Why spend time in verticality if flying mounts exist?
It building up and swelling, it really gave me like a genuine swell of like hype emotions, if you will, and it made me just kind of like take the world around me, look at the vistas, and it was all so really pretty and scenic. So that's an aspect that I think the environmental designers really freaking nailed.
The music scene sounds stupid, by the way. I don't know if you can hear it, but there's essentially just a boom drum beat, and that's it.
And there is aerial navigation in this game, which is one of the cooler aspects of this game. I was talking about the flying mount. You can traverse anywhere by air once you get that Ikran. And the Ikran can also like catch you midair when you're falling, almost like, you know, Breath of the Wild-esque, I guess. And it even can be used for aerial combat or...
Why isn't your tail going into the tail of the Necron? Or head. I don't remember where the tail is supposed to be. But the whole point of this is like you put your... The whole point of Avatar is like the blue boys put their tails into things and then they're one and stuff. I'm not seeing that happening.
You know, for strategic infiltrations. I will say that the aerial navigation, sometimes it feels like there's a lack of that sense of rush or speed. That sense of like...
Okay, I don't know if you're hearing the music properly.
That roller coaster. And
you should hear the music as loud as I'm hearing it. And currently it's like some kind of tribal choir. It sounds awkward.
And the flying mount can occasionally get stuck on objects in denser areas. So I hope they can like just give it a bit more of a sense of when you're riding these things. But it's a cool addition nonetheless that allows expedient navigation.
Yeah. Listen to this music.
And the ability to explore landmasses that are in the air, those floating islands. You can get there with your Ikran. Oh, and you can also name your...
The absolutely 100% generic font of Take Flight. Bruv! Why? Dude, this is as generic as it comes. I would expect something like this in Starfield.
Oh, and you can also name your flying mount. You can pick from a bunch of predetermined options. I name mine Floof, and the player character actually calls the Ikran, whatever you name it, in my case, Floof, during certain scenes, which is kind of
nice.
Oh, is that good, Floof? Yeah?
Yeah, you like
Yeah, getting that flying mount was one of the main campaign missions, and the campaign missions themselves, the main quest, felt pretty cinematic. It all happened sort of in first person. There's a character...
Ah, they kind of have nailed down how the blue boys look, huh, though?
Creator in this game, but they gave us a pre-made character for the purposes of this demo. And the story takes place shortly before the new movie that came out, Way of Water, and it focuses on this never-before-seen continent called the Western Frontier. And the plot revolves around the invasion of the RDA, this human corporate faction, and the Na'vi trying to...
Like, literally always.
...fend them off. And it's about the politics of the various Na'vi clans and how they each deal with this situation. So...
The Na'vis are savages! They literally don't deal with these situations! That's like... That was the point of the movies. The actual humans were completely right in exterminating the blue boys, because... they're just a bunch of stupid savages that don't do anything. Yo, what kind of story can you actually make about these things? They're dumb. They don't have politics. They don't have, well, anything except the tail plugging into other things and then you become one. What kind of story on... Dude, I understand humans are attacking. That's probably going to be the highlight of this game because... Dude... These clans are as boring as they come.
Narratively, there's a good foundation, and I think the way the voiceover performances and the character animations come across make everything feel lively enough where I can potentially get invested in this story as long as the plot itself is good.
It does seem true. The characters move and talk good, but the world just seems... I don't know, is it just me or the world seems super awkward for some reason? Bam. Suddenly it's not dark anymore. Magic, boys. Magic. Trust in the Blue Boy Navi system.
Though that obviously remains to be seen, but as far as the presentation aspect goes, the game and its characters really do feel pretty expressive, and so that helps with me becoming sort of emotionally invested in what's going on, which is a plus. But there are also side stories that you can engage in by talking to NPCs. I didn't have time to engage with those, though. I focused on the main quests in this demo, and there were 4 missions for the main quest. Mission 1 was the Eye of Ewa, which involved harvesting materials for a ritual. Mission 2 was called Take Flight. This is where you climb this mountain, just
at least it's as generic as it can get.
Jump around from platform to platform or some plant to another, and just kind of make your way up and take in the view, and then eventually slowly tame your flying mount, your Ikran, and you are taught how to fly the thing. Then mission 3 is called Those Who Guide Us. Basically talk to an NPC to trigger the next quest. And then mission 4 was called Pushing Back. This was kind of the big one. It involved hacking and destroying aerial RDA.
Hacking? Destroying... Bruh, the blue people, Navi, don't understand anything what this is. They're just gonna shoot arrows at armor and be like, oh, wow, that didn't work? Wow, that's surprising.
Devices and engaging in aerial combat to destroy aerial vehicles.
That worked. The balloon is down.
Did they learn how to use guns in the next in the second movie?
Then I had to infiltrate this RDA base, which I could do by land or air. I could do stealthily or guns blazing. It was fairly open, so I can...
Infiltrate? You're twice the size of a human. That's gonna not be probably easy to infiltrate.
Imagine players tackling this in a variety of ways, and it was about taking out the base by shutting down these devices scattered throughout the base that are highlighted when you engage the Navi sense, which essentially is like that high fidelity vision mode where you can...
Wait, so your mission is shut down drill towers? Okay, I get that. I dig it. And you shut them down by just... Well, you literally press the off switch. Can't they just, press the on switch?
And see extra things and important things are highlighted. And so these missions, I think, were a good mix of activities that taught me all the game's basic mechanics. Obviously, in that last mission, I engaged in a lot of combat. And there are 2 types of weapons. You've got Navi weapons, and then you've got the RDA or human weapons. So Navi weapons are along the lines of...
Okay, yeah. Bows big.
Bows, spear throwers, and slingers. And those...
Well, to be fair, their bows are as big as, a javelin.
Are more intended for stealthier approaches and reward accurate shots. Whereas the RDA weapons are, your shooter weapons, assault rifles, shotguns, RPGs, stun grenades, you name it. They're louder, more powerful, a more traditional run-and-gun type of experience. And you can kind of switch back and forth based on what the situation calls for. You can use your Navi sense to sense nearby enemies, and that Navi sense also detects weak points that are highlighted in yellow. And
this looks kind of slightly awkward.
That allows you to see where to shoot to deal significantly more damage. And if you're going for that one-shot kill with, say, your bow and arrow, then you definitely want to take good aim and try to hit that weak point.
Ooh. This looks Far Cry-esque, right?
You've also got this hacking tool that has various functions during quests and combat. And from what I've played so far, I'd say that combat has a good feel to it. Weapons feel impactful and satisfying to use. It feels great when you pull off a great shot. And there's just a nice sense of
Well, that doesn't look that bad.
audio design for especially the RDA weapons.
But yeah, there's no way this is not a stinker. There's no way people are. I can already tell. There's no way people are gonna play this and be like, "Yeah, it's a good game. It has long." No.
Assault rifle, for example, feels punchy when you shoot it. There's just great feedback all around, so the core mechanics of combat, I think, are really solid. Combat is also further aided by how fluid navigation is. It's very easy to jump and climb ledges and to find various different either plant life or devices that will essentially shoot you upwards towards a platform that's above you, and just how fast you are, how nimble you feel. That really captures just how capable and agile Navis are when it comes to
Oh, the NPCs are brain damaged, huh?
traversing environments, and you really get that sense of essentially being able to parkour around, not just out and about in the open world, but also during combat, which gives combat this very...
Dude, what's the deal with NPCs just becoming stupider with time? How is this possible? I understand most devs are incompetent losers that should probably be, you know, just removed from the gene pool because that would make better games in general, right? But how? How have we moved so much backwards? GTA 3 NPCs acted better than this. GTA 2 NPCs acted better than this. Like, seriously, we're talking about games that are 20 plus years old at this point, and they have better NPCs than, you know, what we're seeing here on Starfield. Like, how does this happen?
Very sort of fluid and dynamic feel that's almost slightly like Titanfall-esque, minus the wall running. And so just playing as an AV, I think, just feels pretty good. The core mechanics of that...
Wait, was your healing option fruit salad just now?
And so just playing as an AV, I think, slightly like Titanfall...
Assault rifle. So also, the fact that you have... That's a slingshot, by the way, it looks like it. So you have 4 weapons?
All-esque.
Fruit? Yeah. Okay. Okay. Got it. Eat fruit salad to heal. I mean, yeah.
Minus the wall running. And so just playing as an AV, I think, just feels pretty good. The core mechanics of that are really, really solid. There's also the option of stealth, though I found stealth to be really tough, though maybe I just have to get a better grasp of how stealth
sounds so stupid.
Works in this particular game, but from what I played, stealth, like a complete stealth run of base infiltration, didn't feel very viable, but maybe as I progress through the game, get better equipment and upgrade myself, maybe that will smooth itself out. And the way you progress through the game is, well, you've got harvesting and crafting, so as you're walking around and navigating the open world, there are plenty of, like, plants...
Dude, that seems so horrible.
...wildlife that you can harvest. Plants in particular tend to involve filling up your healing pouch or allowing you to get ingredients to craft ammunition and equipment like armor and weapons. Ammo can be crafted very much like you can in Horizon Zero Dawn and Forbidden West. You can bring up the weapon wheel and craft your ammo right there. But for equipment like armor pieces and weapons, you do have to go to crafting tables at your home base. And then beyond that, you can actually cook at cooking stations by gathering ingredients. And these foods not only heal you, but also replenish your max energy or stamina and can potentially give you additional boosts based on what you cook. And that can be a combination of plants that you harvest, and of course you can hunt animals and harvest meat, as well as other resources from them. And you have this menu where it shows you all of the ingredients and resources that you've encountered, and you can pin them in the menu so that your Navi sense highlights them and picks them up. So that feeling of like
wait, this is gathering? What is this? Warhammer 40k to change a light bulb, you first need to light incense and chant and get a whole damn orchestra behind you so the machine spirit doesn't blow up the multiverse?
Trend gatherer, like that's an aspect that's definitely a deep part of the game's just general gameplay. And then Navi sense...
Yeah, that's gonna become really annoying really fast. I'm not even gonna buy this game. I'm not gonna lie. There's no shot.
Particular, I think, is a really.
I'm gonna laugh about it when it comes out because, one, Ubisoft game. Two, again, we talk about Blizzard, we talk about Bethesda, we talk about EA greed and things like that. But Ubisoft is right up there. I mean, they have a lot of games that used to be really good and now are complete dumpster fires.
Cool gameplay implementation because it not only highlights what's around you, but also it shows you trails of like where animals are going, their smell or their footprints, whatever it is. And so you really do feel like a hunter. It's almost like that
The world looks okay, but it looks awkward.
Witcher vision almost. And so you're going to be using it a lot, whether it is to gather resources or to go to the next mission objective, which is highlighted in the Navi sense. And also you can use Navi sense to get the lay of the land when it comes to enemies. You can see them and get an idea for their position, and you can use that to either be stealthy or to strategize your way through combat. And then all of those capabilities can be improved by you gaining experience through activities and quests, leveling up,
I wonder if it's possible to encounter more than 3 enemies at the same time.
spending skill points, typical stuff. So you've got 5 skill trees here. You got Survivor, which allows you to carry more items and also increases your health. The Warrior skill tree is more focused on combat and handling.
Oh my god, look at it! It's humans and pollution! Oh no! Oh no! The Navis! Global warming! Oh no!
Weapons. The Hunter skill tree is all about stealth and the ability to carry more ammo, as well as enhancing your Navi sense. The Maker skill tree is about crafting and cooking. And finally got Rider, which is about upgrading your Ikran flying mount capabilities, as well as other mounts that you can ride in the game, like alien horses and
The shooting sound seems good. The shooting looked good. But the enemies, when they're taking damage, is just Starfield all over again, it feels like.
stuff like that I didn't get to try out in this demo, but that's something that you can do in the final game. So yeah, I feel like all of the ingredients are here to allow.
Also, what's the deal with those bases? Be in hostile enemy territory, have 5 people in the base?
People to live that fantasy of being a Navi, of inhabiting Pandora. You feel like a Navi, I suppose, and those 2 hours that I played made a positive impression about all that. But there are some issues that I did notice, starting with the fact...
Yeah, this is gonna be shit. I'm calling it right now. No. The base game is there, I guess. And if there is a base game there, you can always say, oh, it's untapped potential, blah, blah, blah. But it will never be tapped potential. It's probably not gonna get better than this. And this is kind of sad and bad. Like, let's be real. How many games do you know you have yourself played where things like gathering, taking an animation for the first time you do it is cool, but you know, after every time you need to play a mini game to wrangle a fruit free from a tree while you're a giant with superhuman strength, it's like it gets boring by the second time. It's like, I hate these things. There's so many companies that are just blatantly showing that they have no idea what good games are by implementing so many mechanics that look cool in trailers, but, you know, in actuality, if you play the game for more than 3 seconds, you're like, wow, yeah, this mechanic looks cool the first time, but now it's the second time and I'm already tired of it and I want it faster. Dude, go hunting! Kill 10 things. You need to make a chant for every single one of them that you're harvesting its meat. Yeah, great. Warhammer would like to talk to you about that.
That for this demo, there was just so much popping, especially when flying through the air.
Oh my, I was gonna...
There was just so...
You said that? And then it's here,
so much
right?
popping, especially when flying.
Yeah. So the graphics are shit, obviously. I mean, you can tell the graphics are absolute dog water just from these things right here. I didn't even think I need to actually highlight it, but I think it's time. I think we should talk about this Yeah, this looks garbage.
Flying through the air and moving at higher
Oh, but this is not the original footage and it's more crisp. Yeah, more crisp is not gonna change the fact that, you know, textures are suddenly just appearing onto the screen and this looks garbage. It's not gonna change it, okay?
Though this is still an early build, so I'm not gonna judge that too much. But it was definitely prominent enough where it did not look great when taking to the skies. And there's just something about some of the distant landmasses that make them almost look like JPEG cutouts instead of...
Yeah, they do look like JPEG cutouts, but they're not JPEG cutouts.
Three-dimensional formations in the distance. Something about like the lack of lighting or fog or something just to give it some...
This is probably the best that we have seen. The fog looks good.
Semblance of three-dimensionality. So that stuff really just kind of sticks out a little bit. Hopefully this is stuff that can get sorted out in the final game. I also do think that some of the menus could use a little more refinement, could look a little sleeker. I don't know. They look a bit mobile game-esque, dare I say.
Obviously, probably, yeah.
Like, it's not the worst thing ever, but, and I can't show you what the menus look like, but for this early demo, I feel like they could look a little more a AAA. I don't know, they looked very basic. Maybe that's why they're not allowing us to show footage of that. Maybe it is going to get refined in the final game. And then finally, my biggest concern is that while this did make a strong impression for the first 2 hours, by the time I hit the 10-hour mark or the 20-hour mark or the 40-hour mark, this will end up feeling like another Ubisoft game. I don't know for sure if that's going to end up being the case. I just hope
when he says that, he means it's bad.
That the game focuses more on quantity and substance of main and side quests rather than quantity and shallow volume of side quests. I don't want to...
Wait, what? Do we need to see...
of side quests.
What?
On quantity and substance of...
The game focuses on quantity and substance?
Main and side quests rather than quantity and shallow volume of side quests. I don't...
Yeah, he misspoke here. I'm not sure. The quantity over quality is the saying, right? I think he means the opposite, that Ubisoft here is trying to go for quality over quantity? Which, by the way, for a normal game probably sounds really good. But, I mean, every Ubisoft game concentrates on quality over quantity and it's still shit, okay? All the Far Cry games, they have very little to do in them. They have very little objectives. They have very little different things that you can do. Every Ubisoft game concentrates on very, very, very few things. And they're still really, really bad on average. Assassin's Creed literally has like 3 things in it that you can do in general in a game, right? And it's still really bad. Ubisoft games have always concentrated on quality over quantity, but the problem with Ubisoft games is that their quality sucks. I mean, yeah, in this game, how many things that you can do? Main missions, you probably have a classic Ubisoft, like, get control of an outpost situation. You probably have get 10 bare asses side quest. You know, and that's pretty much it. Maybe you have some kind of thing where you climb up a tower, okay? Maybe you have some kind of, you know, stuff like that. You know, dumb shit like that. It's gonna be very shallow, very few activities. That's essentially the hallmark of, well, Ubisoft in general. Not many things to do, and the things that you have to do are extremely shallow. They're not shallow in the way that, you know, they're simplistic. Well, they are simplistic. That's how they are shallow, you know? They're not shallow as in there's not a lot to do in them. You know, Ubisoft is going to stretch out your crafting system in, you know, 500 different levels, where each level is a 1% increase over the other one. But they're still shallow and hollow.
Want a million similar bases to infiltrate with no narrative implications behind them. I want every piece of content to feel on some level handcrafted, And at the very least, if you can make a really great main campaign with awesome set pieces and great character moments and plot development and great scenarios that really feel engaging, at least if you can give me a great main campaign with some side activities here and there that, you know, just to kind of pass the time in between those main missions that will allow me to gather resources or get cool loot and stuff like that and upgrade my weapons, get better gear. If you can just give me a campaign that feels epically...
This looks like a giant base, but there's no one in it.
...realized, then maybe they can kind of get away with the Ubisoft formula of open world where it's just a bunch of bases scattered everywhere and it's just about checking off, you know, all of these different points of interest. But I really hope that just the open world activities themselves don't just feel like a copy and pasted Ubisoft game, but, you know, add a different flavor with different varieties of...
Yeah, so the mission where you're supposed to stop the drilling is just, okay, we're gonna press the off button. What happens if they push the on button, though?
Gameplay elements to make them not feel so monotonous and so stale.
Oh, wait, so you randomly just, you know, do a little bit of this and then the drill explodes? Wow. Okay. That's as good as games have when you know, you shoot a control panel and it suddenly blows up a whole facility. That's funny.
Because with every Ubisoft game having kind of used the same formula of open world, every game feels like I'm kind of playing the same game, just in a different setting with some different mechanics. And so that's the one area where I'm like, I don't know how that's going to go. I hope that every base infiltration doesn't feel like the base I infiltrated in Mission 4 and stuff like that. I really hope that...
He's barely getting shot.
They've spent a lot of time creating variety and substance and quality content. I'd rather have a really fun and engaging 20 hours than a meh 40 hours, you know what I mean? There are hints of side stories and side quests playing a big part, given that I did stumble upon a few of those NPCs out and about in the open world who might request something from you. Hopefully, those won't be just kind of simple...
Wait.
NPCs
Watch this.
out and about in the open world.
So, this guy is running.
Who might request...
And then he shoots the explosive canister.
Something from you.
And the guy gets pushed by the The guy gets pushed by the explosion backwards into the Nice. Yeah, just nice.
Hopefully, those won't be just kind of simple fetch quests. Hopefully, they will have some kind of substantial story that tells the story of the Na'vi from, you know, multiple different perspectives and angles, and everyone has something.
There's no story to tell about the Na'vi. They're dumb savages that don't care about anything but connecting with nature. And they don't even do it that deeply because they have no need, because they just can plug their tails into stuff and that's it. There's no story to be told about the Na'vi. They're dumb and boring.
Of substance narratively to...
Their whole shtick is that they're just big.
Imbue on top of, hopefully, varieties of activities that kind of mix up the gameplay instead of all of it feeling so monotonously generic. So yeah, it's hard to me to make a final judgment based on just 2 hours of gameplay, but I will say that there's something here. You know, I think that among the recent Ubisoft releases, this is one that's compelled me quite a bit after having gone hands-on with it.
Oh boy.
But it's a matter of, can it sustain me for the long term, and will it be engaging and feel like full of...
Yeah, Young's just flat out chilling. Everyone knows this is the greatest committing speech that anyone has ever done, okay? It's like, yeah, this game, there's a base game here, but, you know, the question is obviously, will it be great after 200 hours in, you know? It's like, okay, you're telling everyone you need to try this because, you know, you're not sure if the game's gonna be good after, like, 20 hours, which is bull. You don't need 20 hours to figure out the game is bad. That's the thing.
Substance throughout the course of however long this game is meant to be, and for that I'll have to check the final game out, and hopefully I'll have a review out.
Yeah. It looks good. I'm gonna try it, but who knows? Maybe it's a stinker. No, this just looks overall bad
for you guys. In the meantime, though, this is kind of everything you need to know. Let me know in the comments below what your thoughts and opinions are on Avatar Frontiers of Pandora based on what you've heard from myself, other previewers, and based on what you have seen of the gameplay footage. The thing that's really selling it for me right now is the setting and the world and how gorgeous everything looks, and just the very active exploration. I think is just fun and interesting because everything looks so foreign and alien and beautifully realized. And while you do feel some of that Far Cry blueprint in here, this
is not selling me at all, by the way. This doesn't look real. This doesn't look real. This doesn't look like any forest I have been in. This doesn't look like any forest that I have ever heard or seen in my life in a picture. This doesn't look also alien at the same time. That's like the thing. Oh, it's a purple. It's a purple plant. Wow. You don't have no, we do. We actually do have plenty of purple plants on this world right here. But it's on the wall. It's on the wall. Yeah, no. This just looks awkward because none of the flora seems to be on the wait, is it flora or fauna? I forget again. Dude, I don't care, okay? It's been a long time since I have been in 7th grade, okay? I can forget continents, I can forget what is flora and what is fauna. Flora was definitely 100% these things. Fauna was creatures. Okay, so yeah, this flora is just, it looks awkward. None of this looks believable in my eyes. It's just a mishmash of things that they don't make sense. You know what good games do, by the way? They call people who actually are experts in, you know, biological habitats and, you know, plants and stuff, foresters, to ask how things should look in real life. None of this, Ubisoft just didn't do it. They just did not care. Because this looks completely fake to me. None of this makes sense. There's like this semi-tall grass, then there's things on the sides. Why are there things on the sides? It's like, none of this makes sense. I look at this, and I instantaneously can just tell.
Active exploration, look, I think, is just fun and interesting because everything looks so foreign and alien and beautifully realized.
Yeah, I just look at this, and what do I see? I see a straight path where I'm supposed to walk for some stupid reason, and it just looks so awkward in my eyes that there's this straight laid out path where I'm supposed to walk, and all around it is these crazy mushrooms and 50 trillion different species that would never happen in real life because species actually don't just, you know, cohabitate exactly in this way in real life. You know, you can't find something, you can't find, you know, well, you probably can in some super rare places, but you usually can't find something like, for example, this. There's like 15 different things happening here, and they're all living in that it makes no sense.
Well, you do feel some of that Far Cry blueprint in here. The setting alone, and then combined with the fact that you are a Na'vi, the fact that they've recontextualized aspects of that formula through the world of Avatar, you know, maybe they can make a game that, while still will likely feel on some level like a Ubisoft game, it'll feel like a substantial step up or substantially different enough. Hopefully the gameplay and the activities with what is a solid foundation will remain interesting for the whole experience. So that's kind of where I'm at based on my 2 hours
That bridge thing, though, looked kind of cool.
On gameplay experience. Share your thoughts in the comments below.
Oh, no! He wants to eat me!
Oh, and to be further updated on all things gaming news,
bruh, he fat.
Reviews and discussions, stay tuned right here on Young Yeah. I'll see you guys.
What do you mean, what now? Anyway, I don't know. I don't know. It seems awkward. This doesn't feel also like in the movie what I remember, right? This really doesn't. Anyway, that was Young Yeah. Everyone's favorite Young Yeah. It is what it is. Here he is. Anyway, this was also Quizzer Sensei. Thanks for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already, and have a nice day. Bye-bye.